Hey Siri, what are eco-friendly phone cases made of?
Here's what I found.
It's us! Wow. Hello everybody, I'm La. Welcome back to Sustainable Jungle, where we share sustainability, tips, tricks, hacks, products, brands, and stories to better our little blue planet. And today we are talking about phone cases. Eco-friendly phone cases, sustainable phone cases, recycled phone cases, biodegradable phone cases, plastic-free phone cases, cruelty-free, vegan phone cases, all the phone cases. There's a lot of cases. A ubiquitous tech accessory, but a necessary one to prevent you and me from breaking our phones and having to buy another one, which costs us and the planet even more. Unfortunately, most cases are mass-produced in unethical factories with less than eco-friendly materials. So to cover our bases, we're going to talk cases. And the most important thing that we, you and me, need to consider for phone cases is what it's made of, because that, my friend, will massively impact its carbon footprint and of course its end-of-life outcome. Now, there are many materials that are marketed and used as eco-friendly, but to summarize the legitimate ones so that you can identify them, we need to split this up into three main categories. And number one is bioplastics. These are plastic-like materials, and they're made from plant-based and renewable fibers. And the most common you want to look out for are cornstarch, flax, wheat, straw, and bamboo. And generally, they're free of toxins like BPAs. They have a significantly lower carbon footprint over their lifetime, and they break down usually much faster than petroleum-based plastics, but not always, because, spoiler alert, they're often coated and processed with petroleum-based inputs, which means that when you throw them away, they can leach chemicals. And that's why it's super important to look for the manufacturer's specs on end of life, so you know what to do with one of these cases if you end up buying one. And it's very unlikely you'll find a certified home compostable phone case, simply because bioplastics, they're great, but they generally take too long to grade to be defined as compostable. You'll probably have better luck finding ones that are certified industrial compostable. And if you do end up composting this one, just make sure you also remove all the bumpers and linings and all those sorts of peripheral materials, because sometimes the bumpers can be made of things like rubber and TPE. If it's natural rubber, it can be composted, but if not, just remove it. And next up we have is cork. No, this is not a phone case. But I felt like I had to have some cork in this video, so there it is. And as a natural material, it can biodegrade and return to the earth in a safe and timely manner, to quote the FTC guidelines. So you might say cork phone cases fit the bill to a T-Mobile. Not only is this material totally compostable, but it's also renewable. You harvest cork from shaving the bark off the cork trees. You're not actually cutting anything down. And apparently, this process actually reduces carbon, because each time the tree is shaved, it has to regrow its bark. And to do that, it has to consume more CO2. In other words, we need to buy cork phone cases like stat, like now. A lot of them. Last material I want to talk about is that which is recycled. And there's a lot of materials that are recycled and then upcycled into cool phone cases like aluminium, skateboard decks, cardboard, bicycle tires. But the most common type we've come across in phone cases is actually plastic. And it's usually taken from ocean waste and fishing nets, for example, which is totally cool, because while we can't unmake plastic that's already been produced, it's here to stay for like forever, we can actually reuse it, upcycle it into recycled phone cases. Okay, those are the main eco-friendly phone case materials that you want to prioritize. But aside from materials, there are actually a couple of other ethical considerations that we should look out for. Like, are the phone cases made in a safe environment, and are the workers paid fair wages? There's not a lot of transparency in this industry. Most companies who make phone cases, they basically don't say anything, which means they don't consider their social impact. But having said that, there are some companies who do share details of their supply chain and manufacturing, and I'll get into two examples in a sec. But just one more thing that you want to look out for to maximize your phone case purchase from an environmental perspective is to check if the brand has any carbon reduction practices and policies in place, like closed loop manufacturing, or using renewables, or sticking to minimal recycled zero waste packaging, carbon offsets, those kinds of things. Okay, so now that we have a better idea of what an eco-friendly phone case looks like, as I said, I want to share two brands which I really think are worth a peruse for you. Okay, first and arguably the most well-known brand in this eco space is the certified B Corp Pela. And yes, this is indeed my old Pela phone case. Used it on my iPhone 6 for a couple of years, and as you can see, it is breaking down in a good way. We love things when they break down. Pela makes covers for almost every phone for the last 10 years, from iPhone 14 Pro Max Extra, all the way to iPhone 5, the Samsung Galaxies, the Google Pixels, the Huawei's, the OnePluses. Price-wise, you're looking at about $60 to $70, and they come in a range of colors, designs, and graphics. The Pela case is actually made of a material called flaxstick. Flaxstick? It's a compostable bioplastic made of leftover flax straw. The founder, Jeremy Lang of Sasquatch, actually got that idea when he saw how much flax straw was being burned after harvesting. Anyway, it's free of BPAs, phthalates, heavy metals, and it meets the child safety standards of most developed countries, which is great. It is soft and flexible. And that's not because this is just old. It was actually originally like that, and it does a really good job at absorbing shocks. They've actually got a little video on YouTube which goes into more detail of this material, so I'll pop a link to that below. As for its biodegradability, it's quoted as taking about 45 to 60 days in industrial facilities and up to 2 years in your home composter, which means it's not actually home compostable. But fear not, because Pela has a 360 program which allows you to mail in your old or unwanted cases from this brand or any brand, including plastic ones, and they'll take them back and just make sure that they're properly recycled or composted. And as for their supply chain, their engraver and their injection molder is based in Saskatchewan. Otherwise, they employ fair wage factories in Hong Kong who actually produce each phone case. They're a climate neutral certified business through purchasing carbon offsets. And as a 1% for the Planet member, they also give 1% of their sales to clean ocean initiatives. According to their latest sustainability report, they also have other carbon reduction plans, like helping their manufacturers move to renewables and improving operational efficiency. And next up, we have a range of affordable plant-based phone covers from a good company. And my current phone case is actually a good company phone case. And I've had this banana patchwork for as long as I've owned my iPhone 12, which I bought secondhand about a year ago, which, by the way, is the most sustainable tech, secondhand tech. But that's a different topic. A good company phone cases are actually made from very similar materials to Pela's, which is wasted linseed, also known as flaxseed, depending on which side of the globe you sit. And the plants are sourced from a certified organic farmer, which just happens to be very close to their Swedish base camp, which is also 6 miles from a small factory which turns the flax into the pellets made for the phones, which also happens to be a short distance from another family-owned plant that turns the pellets into almost every single size iPhone case 6 onwards, as well as a variety of Samsung models. And they all are about $20 to $40. And fun fact, the factory that makes these is actually run on solar power in the summer and hydroelectricity in the winter. And it's created a closed-loop system for its wastewater. Each one of these bad boys is vegan society certified and printed with water-based inks into lovely designs, some of which are created through partnerships with local artists. And when your phone cover is no longer covering your phone, you can either compost these, I'm not going to do that now, or recycle them via the A Good Loop program. And when you do that, you get a new phone case. A Good company also sells stationery, clothing, dental products, floss, and toilet paper. But I don't think you can do the sending back the toilet paper. They're a carbon negative certified B Corp, all suppliers, work conditions, materials, it's all detailed in their impact report, which also highlights their efforts to reduce their carbon footprint. And they support a bunch of charities through A Good Foundation. And that's it. We're done. So what's the takeaway here? You know that sinking feeling immediately after you drop your phone only to find your screen is cracked? Ugh, sucks. Just not as much as plastic fish food sucks. Let's just try to prevent both. We're all gonna have to get new phone cases, right? May as well make it a better one. I'll add links to all the resources mentioned, including our list on more eco-friendly phone cases, because there are some really cool little niche brands doing really cool things in the space, so definitely check them out. And if you have any good eco phone case recommendations, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, look, any button if sustainable living is your thing. I'm Lyle from Sustainable Jungle. Much love, and always use a phone case. Sustainable phone case.